Houston, Ellinger, how you doing, man? Looking at your back leg and your squat, we're about 123 degrees before you start rotation. Heel starts up. So I want to get that below 110. So that's something that you can definitely work on to be able to get more power out of this. Your knee's also facing this way, and that's what's really delaying all of this rotation through. So I think that you could stack way better knee inside and your upper body going back this way to get this head over that rubber as long as possible. That's what's going to help you push down the mound. So better squat and then better knee position. As you drive into this, get into the double leg extension. We're at 91 degrees, and I want to see 110 plus. 110 degrees is really where we start maximizing our hip rotation. So you could have traveled another further probably 5-6 inches, and that's going to maximize everything coming through. Looking at your front leg, and this is something that could help a lot. So as you plant, your knee is facing really this way, and it takes a while for your knee to come back and get in. So that's 12 degrees that your knee has to wait to be able to rotate your hips through. So that's a huge one right there that you could fix. And all of this online, we have our online program. This is something that you can look at. It's plant leg external rotation. That's the weakness. And if you look at that, look at all the drills and work on that, and we're going to fix it pretty quick. Okay. Looking at the other angle, same thing. So we're waiting for your knee to get over your ankle. And this angle right here, let's check this out. 134 degrees, which is not bad. Actually, it looks pretty good. And let's see what happens to this angle. It actually gets bigger as you drive through, and this is what we want. We want this knee to be sucked back, and that's going to push your chest through. And so it's that firm front leg is really what's allowing you to rotate through and maximize your rotation with your upper body. Getting into posture at ball release. So at release point, you're pushing your head far this way, and I want to start pushing your chest through and not your head through. And if you do that, it's going to be a lot easier to maintain all of your power going towards the plate. So posture ball release, you are what we call a B posture. What does that mean? Well, when you come back, this is your posture coming back. And then to be able to get the ball through your chest, your head has to travel all the way to this position to get through. So to minimize that, all I do is stay back just a tad, move your chest back to this line, and then when I drive, can you imagine driving from here to here? We're talking about maybe a 3-inch movement as opposed to a foot movement of head movement. So that's going to minimize your movement and maximize your ability to throw strikes and throw the ball harder. So all of these things happen together. Looking into launch. As you launch the ball, we are what we call marginal. It's close to early, but we want as late as possible release point, and it's traveling right over that front foot. So I want to get even further, and a lot of that has to do with your back leg. Your back leg comes off instead of staying on the ground and dragging and your hip rotating through and your chest rotating through. Your leg comes off, and that pushes you it's a little bit unstable with your back leg. So if this back leg was more stable, better hip rotation, better chest extension, and all of a sudden the ball releases later and later, and that's where we want it. Also, a lot of has to do with your posture at ball release as well. So how do we get better? Well, there's another thing as well. I want to make sure that this knee is inside here and your upper body's back. So this is what we call stacking. I want you to stack as far back as you can, your knees inside, and you're really loading that lower half. That's what's going to really allow you to use your body to be able to extend those legs and to increase these numbers that we've talked about earlier on your lower half. Looking at your front glove actually really drives down. And what I want to see from you is that your front glove comes through and drives this way, pinches and gets all the way across and out in front. Okay, so I'd like to see you use your front glove better, and that's gonna help your throwing arm as well. So you need to work on that a lot. That's something that instantly you could see some huge improvement in your rotation, your velocity, and feeling better just throwing in general. So as I'm driving through this, we're going to go into high elbow. We're looking at both of your shoulders. You're about 175 degrees, so we're a little bit elevated as you come through, and this is what I want to see. Do you see how your elbow's moving? I want to see this pinched and arm up a little bit earlier. Your arm's not up at the right time, and there's a lot of stress on that arm. I want to be, once I'm planted, plant and that arm's up, and then I'm driving that through. But I want to drive that chest through and not the elbow. The elbow kind of comes prior. See how the elbow comes prior to the chest? I want to continue with the chest first, then the elbow, then the wrist, and then everything's going to kind of connect. So not a huge big issue with the elbow. It's actually not bad. Minimal. Off the back hip. This is the chest extension. So you're about 41 degrees. Just check it again. About 43 degrees. 43 degrees, which is not bad. And so I want to see a little bit higher than that. .48 degrees, so I want another inch, maybe 2 of chest drive, and this front knee is going to come back as well. So last thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to draw a cross section of your elbow right here. Okay, so as your layback comes out, you come around this elbow, is what we call an arm fly out. The reason being is your chest is going, your head's going one way, and when you're doing that, your arm has to go the other way. So I want a chest extension close to the target so that your arm's not flying out. So I want to reduce this. You should be plowing through right now. You should be plowing through that elbow, but you're going around it, and that's a slower way to throw. So I want to maximize this as much as I can, powering through. We just want to minimize this arm fly out maybe to here. Talking about 3 or 4 inches, but a lot of that has to do with the posture. All of these are affected. So definitely hand fly out. That's something that we got to work on. But thanks for coming to the camp. I appreciate you, and I'm excited to work with you throughout your career, and excited for you to improve. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.